Immersed Robot.
Hello everyone, welcome to Immersed Robot. So I'm just currently playing a little bit of Elite Dangerous, landed on a planet as I continue to make my way to Colonia. For anybody that's been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I've posted occasional videos like this where I've basically landed on a planet just to do a bit of exploration. And I've been travelling to Colonia for a very long time. It's a big journey. It's a big journey to get there, it turns out. And I was expecting that anyway. I'm sort of combining it with a exploration mission anyway to get a load of exploration data to sell. But at the moment, I'm just on this planet. I haven't played for quite a few weeks, so this is obviously where I was when I last played. And it's quite a nice scenic little planet. There's not too much here as usual, but it's nice just to have a little drive around anyway and see the sights. So this is of course an atmospheric planet, and I landed next to this huge crater at the top of the planet, and it's quite a good little view from here. But I'm playing this in Air Link on my Quest 2, getting okay performance. This is actually not great performance because this planet, planets in Odyssey of a certain type don't perform particularly well, and this is one of them. So I'm going to make my way back to my ship now, and you can get this running really nicely in Air Link, by the way. It doesn't perform well overall anyway, in no matter what VR headset you're using, unless you really sort of dial in settings and get things working correctly. But Odyssey is not great in terms of performance anyway still at this time. I've made numerous videos on that, so it's a bit of a trial and error process, to be honest. Let's come at it from this direction. This might be a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's just it's a little bit of a trial and error in terms of getting this set up and working correctly anyway, even in a PC tethered VR headset. But in Air Link you probably have to spend a little bit more time, and also just to get the visual fidelity right as well in terms of like anti-aliasing and stuff like that. I still think it's a great way to play Elite Dangerous with Air Link. I'll probably overall still take my Valve Index, but yeah, this is a nice way, and you've not got the cable of course. And so yeah, I'm playing this in my office as I usually do with Elite Dangerous because it's on my HOTAS sticks. I have played it with motion controllers, the Oculus Touch motion controllers, and it usually, not always, but it usually defaults to the Oculus Touch controllers, and it's got all the bindings for Oculus Touch controllers built into this game as well, so you can play this in a completely different room. You don't need to be connected via HOTAS to your PC or anything like that. You can play with Oculus Touch, and if you hold down a button it will pop up sort of the bindings and stuff, so you don't even need to keep track of the bindings. It will tell you all the bindings for that as well. So I've played that a couple of times. It's not as good an experience overall. You're controlling the ship using thumbsticks and stuff, but it's okay if you want to have a quick play of Elite Dangerous in a different room of your house, and it works really well. I was surprised actually how well it worked. So let's take off and get away from this planet, and we'll continue on to Colonia. And so in my office I'm using a AC router, a dedicated AC router. Well, actually it's not dedicated, but I've only got a few devices that are connected to it in this office. So it's mainly used for Air Link when I play titles like this in the office. And then in my house I've got an AX router, a Wi-Fi 6 router, which if you look at the numbers you actually do get slightly better latency with the Wi-Fi 6 router, and that's dedicated in my house as well just to Quest 2 Air Link usage. In terms of experience, I don't notice a great deal, but if you look at the latency numbers in the Oculus Performance Overlay and in Virtual Desktop, you'll notice that the Wi-Fi 6 router is, anywhere between sort of 5 and 10 milliseconds lower latency, although I don't really notice that, if I'm being honest. I might notice very slightly more latency in terms of like motion controller tracking and stuff like that with the AC router, but there's really not a lot in it. So I would recommend, if you use Air Link a lot, I would highly recommend getting a dedicated router, either AC or AX router, because it makes a big difference if that router is not processing other things that are happening. If you've got a lot of devices connected to your router in your house and you're also using it to play Air Link, you're not going to have a great experience, and you'll notice quite a lot of stuttering and things like that. At least I did it anyway, and once I transitioned over to that dedicated router, I did notice quite a big difference. Oh, I didn't want to go on that system map. Let's just exit out of that, go onto the galaxy map and just plot a route to Colonia again. So I'm using, oh actually yeah, so we'll continue to that. So I'm using this highway. I found a website where it will tell you the best way to get to Colonia with a few stops on the way, just so you can repair your ship and stuff. So I'm using that, and this is the next stop. I've got 78 jumps to the next stop. So we'll just make this quick jump. And the other thing I wanted to talk about just in this video really is Hitman 3, because that's something that was just announced. It's coming to PC VR. So yeah, Hitman 3 did come to PlayStation VR earlier this year really, and it was using the gamepad. It did have motion tracked control on the gamepad, but it was primarily using the gamepad. Now it's coming to PC VR in January, as announced by IO Interactive just yesterday at the time of making this video. They announced that, and it's coming to PC VR with full motion controller support, which is the part which I'm really interested in, because as much as I can play certain games with a gamepad, I do find that, you know, having full motion controller support is probably, well, it's definitely the better way to play, and it makes me really excited for this title. I can't wait to give it a try actually when it comes out in January, so not long to wait either. I've played a little bit of when the new Hitman was released. This is not, I thought this was a fuel scooping star, but oh, it is. I just wasn't close enough. Yeah, so when the new, like the rebooted Hitman came out in 2016, I did play a little bit of that on PC when it was episodic. But around 2016, it was really when I was getting into VR in quite a big way, and I really only wanted to play VR stuff anyway, so I didn't play too much of it, but I did recognise it as a great game, and it's definitely one I would like to get back to. So now with Hitman 3, I've never played Hitman 3, but that's definitely going to be something that I'll be playing in January, and hopefully they've done a good job with the motion controls. On the trailer, which I'll put a link to in the description to this video, it looks like they have. It looks like, you know, they show some, I think it's Valve Index and some Rift S gameplay using the motion controllers, and it looks like they've done a great job on it. So hopefully the user experience when we get it, they've got all the VR things that we want in place, like comfort, full motion, you know, smooth motion, locomotion, all the comfort options that we require, all the graphical options, and all the other VR options that we need to make it a great game. I think just having options in games is a big deal, because it can really, just one small option missing, like if a game was released and it didn't have the ability to remove the vignette when you're moving, or something like that, that would really dampen the experience. And I think there have been games released, especially in sort of 2016, 2017, that were missing fundamental options which now we take for granted in a lot of VR games. So hopefully they've implemented all that, and I'm sure they will have. They seem to be quite on the ball with VR stuff. So we'll wait and see, but that's something else that I'm really excited for. So there is actually not too much going on. I keep checking for new news stories to make videos about every day, and there really isn't too much, at least not too much in my sphere that I'm interested in to make content on at the moment, so I'm probably going to be doing a few more sort of Air Link performance tests and just general performance comparisons, side-by-side comparisons. So let me know if you've got any suggestions for those. I can't promise anything if I don't own the game or something like that. I'm probably not going to be picking up a game just to do a video on it at the moment. But something like the No Man's Sky video that I did a few videos ago, where I did sort of a side-by-side comparison between all the graphical presets. I might do some more videos similar to that for different games, maybe even Elite Dangerous. I could do a VR medium, VR high comparison, just to see how it affects performance, even using Air Link or just using my Valve Index. So these are all just some small things just to keep the channel ticking over while the news is a little bit sparse. And maybe I'm just missing something. Let me know if there's something you want me to cover in VR, and I'll try my best to get onto that as well. But that's pretty much it for this video, just a quick one to check in this week, and I'll probably make another one towards the end of this week or early next week just to do some kind of performance comparison, or who knows, perhaps some big news will drop and we'll all get excited about that. But either way, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Please consider supporting Immerse Robot on Patreon, or joining the Discord, or following me on Twitter, or better yet, all of the above. Links in the description below.